Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I am doing my second the second video to the parents series, I guess we can call it that. And this video is going to focus on DK and what type of father he will be. Now, I have already recorded the S-Scoops one, but it hasn't been uploaded and published yet. Like Friday hasn't happened yet, but for you guys it has, so I will assume that you guys gave it a lot of love and support, so I'll say thank you. But I don't know how you guys took it, so let's see how this one does. But we have 4 different questions that we're going to answer and a bunch of cards that we're going to take out. So let's just jump into the reading to figure out what type of father DK will be like. Now let's take the first card for our first question, which is just in general, what kind of parent or what kind of father will DK be like? So we have 2 cards. We have the Stingray and the Fox. And let's just take one tarot to, I guess, get a better idea of the vibes. And we have the Page of Swords. I was going to say the Page of Wands, but we'll take that into consideration as well. So with the Stingray, we have water element. With the Fox, we have an earth element. And with the Page of Swords, we have air. Now, the first thing I thought of with the Stingray was that he will be a very comforting parent, I guess partner as well, but a very comforting person, because the Stingray made me think of a blanket, and also it made me think of the Stingray in Finding Nemo, how that one was supposed to be like a school bus for the other little fishes. So yeah, there's a sense of like DK will be the type of father that will love to like cuddle and carry his children. He will like to maybe, I think, what is it called in The Sims 4, I think, when you play with your toddlers, you can do like Rob House, and then they do like a little airplane, throw them in the air and stuff like that. Like that's kind of like the visuals I'm getting with DK. And also with the chakras aligned right here, it kind of shows that he will be someone that will bring a lot of harmony and balance to his children. So he'll be a parent that will be pretty considerate about his kids' emotions and how they feel, and he's going to be very intuitive. So I think he will have a very strong telepathic knowing or connection to his children. So even when they're little babies, he will be able to kind of just know when his kids are hungry or when they need a hug or when they need some time alone. I do feel that he might end up having a child that may enjoy their solitude. So I do think it might hurt him or break his heart a little bit, because again, there's this sense of like DK being like this like big teddy bear that just loves to like cuddle his children. So if he ends up having a kid that kind of just wants to be on their own, I think it will hurt him a little bit, but he will still give that kid the space that they need. Now the other card that we have right here is the Fox. So here we have an earth element. So again, a lot of feminine energy on this side. So that kind of just shows that DK will be very intuitive, very perceptive to what his kids need, and he will adapt accordingly to what his children's needs are. But again, with his Fox spirit, it kind of shows that he will be very witty, very fun, very creative. I don't know if eloquent is the word I'm looking for, but he will definitely be able to understand what his kids are telling him or doing or joking about, and kind of keep going with whatever it is that they're doing or saying. So let's say his kids are talking about some very fun show that they have watched, then DK will be able to kind of keep up with a conversation and understand. Okay, maybe not understand in the sense of like I get where you're coming from, but more along the lines of, I love my kids, I will do my best to make sure that they know that I care about them. You get what I mean, right? Like when someone talks about a hobby that you could like care less about, but since it's someone that you love that is talking about that hobby that they really enjoy, you go out of your way to be like, okay, I'll listen to you and I'll pay attention to what you're saying. That kind of vibe, right? So I have a feeling that he might end up having a kid that will be like talking his ear off by just saying a bunch of random incoherent things, but somehow DK is able to like keep up with those kids and be or with that kid and be able to make sure that his kids feel like they're being understood, that they are being heard, and that they are being cared for. And that kind of leads a little bit into this page of sorts as well. DK will be a type of parent that is very creative. He may be a very good storyteller, or he will be communicating and talking a lot to his children, because he will be, I have a feeling, like the initiator of ideas, in the sense of like, if there's a game that the kids want to play, he might be the one that kind of planted that seed and was like, oh, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Why don't we talk about this? Why don't we talk about that? So I think he will be very active and very sociable, or very close to his children. So he might also really pay a lot of attention to how his kids express themselves. And I say kids in plural. I don't even know if he's going to have more than one. I forgot the dice. I left them up there. I'm not about to stand up for them. Anyway, but it seems like DK will probably have more than one kid if I keep saying kids. So I think I used this one. I could be wrong. So I don't know when I did this for Scoops, since it was quite a while ago since I recorded that one. But here, let's figure out how many children DK is going to have. It says 2. So, oh, wait, I just flipped it. So, the answer is 2. Right there. So he's going to have 2 children, apparently. And then it's okay that I've been saying it plural this whole time. But yeah, with the Page of Swords, he's going to be someone that's very creative, someone that would like to explore whatever it is that his kids are like thinking, learning, and talking about. So he will join the conversations that his kids are going to be having, and he will take interest in whatever his kids' hobbies end up being. I do feel like a very young energy, so it seems like DK's, I guess, solidification as a father figure or whatever will be established very quickly in his kids' lifetime. So I'm seeing like very young kids, like toddlers to children, not teenagers. So that young, DK will kind of be very aware, and it will be a very solid foundation of like, this is what it means to be a father. I don't know why that's important. Like, I don't know why that's been highlighted to me. I guess that's the best way I can say it. But let's go to the second question and figure out, how will his kids see DK? We have flow. So that kind of shows that his kids will see him as someone that is very easygoing, someone that just kind of goes with the flow with what they're thinking and saying. But let's get more tarot. How will DK's kids see him? And we have Judgment. Yeah, okay. So with this Judgment card, I'm getting that DK is going to be a very stern and firm father. However, it doesn't come off as strict. It just comes off as someone that is taking care of his children. So I do feel that his kids, because the Judgment card talks about tests. It talks about like in like an inner call, or like answering to that soft voice within us that, or like it's guiding us to our life purpose. And this is a Pluto card, so I do feel that his kids will understand that DK's way of like teaching them and like nurturing them is very soft and subtle, like words of advice that just naturally happen in everyday daily stuff, not necessarily DK like preaching like this is how you should live your life. It's more like if something happens, it's like, oh, so this usually happens and you can think about it this way, that way. So, you know, someone that gives very good advice. I do feel that his children will see him as a very nurturing father, as a very caring and loving one as well. Again, there's this sense of being very firm and stern, in the sense of like, whenever DK has to like establish rules and like, you know, these are the boundaries, this is what has to be followed. Like, this is a structure that our family follows. The kids will understand it, but they will not feel restricted, and they will not feel like they're being suffocated or limited. They will just, there's a sense of feeling freedom and going with the flow, but not being out of control. And I do feel that his kids will really appreciate the freedom that he gives them. But not to the point that it's leading them astray. So there's a sense of having this very good balance of feeling like they're being understood, feeling like they can do whatever they want, but not in a reckless way. And also that they're being guided to do whatever it is that they want at their own pace and at their own flow. Like, so if DK is going to end up having 2 children, these 2 kids could be very different. So there is a sense that they both will really appreciate how DK will be a parent that is very adaptable and will adjust to both of them and their differences as well as similarities. So there's a sense of having a union as a family unit, but at the same time being, they both seem to really respect, admire, or really like how DK was able to allow them, or, well, I'm saying that as if it has already happened. Who knows, maybe I'm connecting to his children in the future. But, they will really appreciate and will really like how he will, or how he, I don't know if I should talk about future tense or in a past tense, but that he will give them the ability to just kind of go at their own pace, go at their own flow, and do their own thing, but with structure. Again, it's like, just, I guess DK will be kind of like a spirit guide that is like, I'm here to help you out when you need it. I'm here to give you the advice when you need it. And I'm just nudging you in the right direction, but I'm not forcing you to be a certain way or do things in a certain structure. It's kind of like you go through your own path, you do your own thing, and I respect our differences, but also I will make sure that I'm always there to be of support to you whenever you need it. That's like the way that his kids will see him, as a very good support but not suffocating energy. Very gentle, oh wait, I should keep this right here so you can still see it. Very gentle and nurturing, but not overwhelming, or I said suffocating, but I was also gonna say like putting labels and or putting them in like this constricting box of this is how things have to be. Like, there's nothing like that, and his kids really appreciate that. They feel that it was a good way for them to transform, have these rebirths of just empowering them. So it seems like DK will do a very good job with his children. The third question is, what type of children, since we already know it's 2, is DK going to end up getting? We have Peppermint with success, and we have Nasturtium. I don't think that's how you say it, but let's pretend I said it right, with victory. And sorry about that noise. That was a strange sound. Anyway, so what type of children will DK end up getting? And then we have Virgo in the middle. So he's gonna end up getting children that are very structured, but I also feel like he's gonna end up having children that have like this nervous energy. So if DK was not able to provide them with the stability and grounding that these kids needed, they would have gone out of control because of that nervous anxiety that these kids will naturally just have. Because Virgo, it naturally has this nervous energy because of how harsh a Virgo could be on themselves. Virgos tend to be perfectionists. Virgos tend to stick to their routines and to get a sense of control, but also a sense of comfort. And Virgo is also energy that is okay with doing tedious tasks, but there needs to be some sort of structure, some sort of stability that it can be easily thrown off if anything is not as planned, or if it's not to the standards that a Virgo puts themselves in. So that's why Virgo can have a natural nervous energy, especially since Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is a very fast moving planet. So Virgos and also Gemini, since it's ruled by Mercury as well, both have this overwhelming energy of I have to do something, and when that energy is not put into either their routine, their work, or their mind, using it like in a creative way, like writing or journaling or something, it can become very destructive and become a stressor or become some sort of like of anxiety, which could be very uncomfortable for a Virgo. So I do feel that his kids, DK is gonna end up having kids that will really appreciate structure, but also have like the wiggle room to do whatever they want. And I think I'm saying that because of how his kids will see DK. Like the thing that they like about him kind of shows what it is that they needed help with, and what they needed to work in. There you go. So anyway, with the peppermint and success, this fire energy, and we have Libra as well. This kind of tells me that his children, his children could be either a Libra, Virgo, or an Aries based on the signs that we have right here. So already we have like children that could be kind of like opposing or clashing somehow. But also with this Libra and Virgo energy, he could end up having a kid that is born in mid-September, which is when we go from Virgo to Libra season. Now, and because of that, that kid could have Virgo and Libra placements. Now, let me go to what I was actually going to say. So with this peppermint card, he's going to end up having children that are going to be very ambitious, perfectionist as well. So whatever it is that they do, they will do a very good job in, and a lot of people will acknowledge and understand how well they're doing, and will give them credit for their hard work, as well as these kids are going to give very good results in whatever it is that they do. So if it comes down to school, they're going to have very good grades, or when it comes to a project, they will win awards, or in ceremonies, they will be acknowledged for their work. So, in a way, I do feel that to the outside perspective, people are going to see DK's kids as like picture perfect. But behind the scenes, also because we have victory, right? So these kids are going to be very successful in whatever it is that they do. But behind the scenes, people are not going to see how hard these kids work, and will not see how much, I don't know if time and effort's the right word, how much support DK will give them to calm them down. That, I guess, is the best way I can explain it. Like, I do feel that these kids will put a lot of unnecessary stress on themselves, and that's not because, I don't know about DK's partner, but he himself will not pressure them to reach this form of success, or to be under the spotlight. When I mean under the spotlight, I'm not saying that the kids are going to be celebrities, but I do feel that these kids will definitely be seen for their work or for their projects. Again, I'm thinking about school. Like, when they're in school, they will be recognized in a lot for their grades. Like, either they're always in the top of their class, or maybe they're class president, or maybe these kids, if any of them are in sports, their team always wins, or they're the star player, or whatever it is that these kids do, they will succeed. Because, again, with this Virgo energy, both of his kids are going to be very hardworking, very disciplined, and they will definitely have a routine that will lead them to success in whatever it is that they're, whatever hobby or activity or anything that they do in life, they're going to do very well in. And because of that, I do feel that a lot of people are going to wonder if DK is a very strict parent or very harsh on his kids. I'm thinking kind of like a tiger mom. I think that's what they call them. Those parents that like have a very strict schedule that has to be followed, and like the kid has to like go to martial arts of sorts, go to learn a sport, learn an instrument, do something creative on top of their schooling and their after school cram school or whatever it's called. I don't know, something along those lines. Like, I do feel that on the outside, some people are going to be like, oh, you have like the ideal children, but at the same time, people are going to be like saying, like, speaking smack and being like, damn, DK's a very like strict parent, making his kids do like shit tons of things. But here's the thing, because of this Virgo energy, these kids need to do a lot of things so like that using their energy constantly. And also they're so disciplined that they do very well in whatever it is that they do because they're putting the hard work every day. So I do feel that if anything, DK will be doing his best to make sure that his kids don't fall apart and actually find a good balance between working hard but also not overworking and burning out, right? So I do feel like DK might be the type of parent that is like, let me prepare some snacks for my children since they're studying very hard, or being like, little Timmy, here I go with my little Timmys, maybe he will tell his children like, you should calm down, you don't have to overwork yourself, you don't have to do all of these things. But I do feel that his children, one of them is gonna be very serious and focused on what they do. So I do feel that he's gonna have a kid that's gonna be very serious, very friendly, very charming, gentle but serious, and someone that kind of likes to be on their own. So I had a feeling before that. I don't know if it's the oldest or the youngest one, but it's one of them. And then he's gonna have another child that is going to be like this firecracker or this fireball because of this Aries energy. And this person makes me think of someone that is very energetic, very spontaneous, and is someone, how should I put it? One will release their energy through their actions, and the other kid will release their energy in a very intellectual way. So what I mean by that is that he may end up having like a dancer or someone that does sports or is an athlete of sorts, and they're very disciplined in whatever it is that they do. And his other child is going to be kind of serious and might be very studious, is that the word? Or their hobbies will be a little bit more like indoorsy of sorts, so they don't have to move a lot, but they're using their mind constantly. So that's kind of what I'm getting here, that he's going to have kids that at first seem like very different, but they're both actually very similar. The things that they're both similar at is this Virgo energy. Very disciplined, they have a routine that they follow, they both get nervous quite easily. It's expressed differently, but they still get nervous very easily, and both of them have so much energy that has to be put into something. So again, if that's the case, I do feel that DK, based on what we saw in his second question, DK will be very accommodating to his children and will help them figure out how it is that they want to use their energy and like what they want to do, basically. So I think he's going to be a very supportive parent in that sense. Let's go on to the last question, which is, what lessons will DK learn from parenthood? And let me see if I remember which cards we're using. I think this one's. So what will DK learn from parenthood? Also, I think he's going to end up having a diva. Like, I think one of his children is going to be a drama queen of sorts. Not someone that creates conflict and drama, but someone that overreacts and exaggerates. And like when they speak about a situation, they just kind of embellish everything. But I think that's just personality. I think that kid will bring a lot of fun times to everyone. So what would DK learn from parenthood? Oh, it's only 2. I thought it was going to be a lot more. I was going to cry. So we have building blocks reverse, we have by the book, and we have Jan reverse. So let's get one card to clarify the building blocks reverse. And let's get one card to clarify by the book. Nice. And let's get one card to clarify Jan reverse. Energy. Okay. So with building blocks reverse and the movement, one of the first things that DK will learn from his, from parenthood or from being a father is how to take action in a very structured way. With building blocks reverse, I'm getting a sense of learning from tower moments, if that makes sense. It's kind of like DK will learn how to move forward in a way that is stable, that is grounded, that is planned, I guess is the way to put it. But also he will learn how to move forward in a spontaneous way that could go against or not necessarily go according to plan as well. So I'm getting this 2 sense of how to find stability in a situation that has no concrete journey or path. So I guess in a way it's kind of like learning how to go with the flow. So this movement card is kind of showing, like, it makes me think of the Eight of Wands, which is a very fast-paced, fast-moving energy. And it's also supposed to symbolize a bunch of energy being focused on a single target. So it's, again, focused energy, taking action towards something that you, a certain goal or a certain, I was gonna say advice. I don't know why advice came up, but that could be significant. Being able to give very good advice. So again, the first thing that DK will learn as a father is how to bring a sense of stability when maybe he himself doesn't know what he's doing. How to be proactive, how to take action when things feel like they're crumbling, but also learning that even if things are like quote unquote falling apart, it's for a reason, and it could be a divine detour of sorts. So if something doesn't work out, it opens up the door to a different opportunity and a different approach. So a sense of like thinking on his feet or being spontaneous. So creating a plan, but also learning how to have a plan B, or having a plan on how, like, what he wants to do or how he wants to achieve a certain goal, but also learning to adapt if things don't go according to plan. So I guess that's something that many parents eventually learn, right? Like, you can say like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're going to do that, but then when children come into the picture, it's like you can't clock out after 7 p.m. and like stop being a parent, right? Like, like it has. I mean, I don't have children of my own, but I am a daughter, so it has happened a lot of times when my mom is like, okay, let me go relax, and then we still go like, mom. So you know what I mean? Like, I do feel like DK will just kind of just learn that, being a parent is like a 24/7 type of job, right? Now, the other thing that he will learn is by the book and illumination. So by the book makes me think of something, again, that it talks about structure. So I don't know, maybe DK will learn how to set healthy boundaries, or he's gonna be so loving and caring that I think he will learn how to be be firm and like set healthy boundaries with the children, and be like, sometimes you have to teach your children how to be good people. Sometimes you have to tell them outright, this is not how things work, this is not how you should behave. There's a sense of like he will learn how to discipline his kids, teach them what is right, what is wrong, what are the rules, and how to follow rules. There is a sense of he will learn how to be like, but it seems very positive. Like, I don't think DK will be strict per se, because I do feel like when someone says, oh, having a strict parent, it kind of boils down with other words like serious, mean, or kind of cold and distant. But in this case, it feels very warm. It feels like an older brother, but I think his kids are going to know that there's levels. There's a hierarchy, okay? So they're not going to see DK as an equal per se. They will see him as a authority figure for sure. Which, I mean, I was not worried, but at the same time I kind of was, because I don't I see DK as DK. I don't really know how he will be as a parent, but according to this, he will be a good one. So with this illumination, I do feel that one of the things that he will learn from parenthood is how to stay optimistic and how to be a guiding light to his children, or be a guiding light to other people. Is like teaching. Recently, when I see the number 11, I just think of like soul families. I think of community. I'm saying that because I was reading the definition of one of my cards, the butterfly spirit, I think I can bring it up. I have it right here. Or somewhere. I don't know where it is. Right here. I was looking at this card because butterflies have been following me lately, and I was thinking of soul families, and it's also number 11, which made me think of the 11th house that talks about groups, community, dreams come true, and stuff along those lines. So I do feel that with him, he will learn what it means to be part of a community, how to be a leader, how to be a form of authority to not only his children, but also other people that look up to him. And he will learn how to be a guiding light or a shining light. There's a sense, again, we did talk about higher selves or spirit guides, so there's a sense of like he will understand the wisdom that he carries is essential information to other people that look up to him. Some of those people being his children. The last thing that he learned, here we have Yang energy reverse and we have energy. So there's a sense of DK will learn how to tone down his masculine energy. Now, I think that's kind of weird because if I'm correct, DK has a moon in Cancer. So we do get to see him express his emotions and not necessarily being afraid to show other people, in a way, his vulnerable moments, right? So with this card right here, I think DK will learn the value of, or like the benefits of that side of himself. Because I think his children will really appreciate how sensitive he is, how, and again, when I mean sensitive, I don't necessarily mean emotional. I mean sensitive in the sense of like he pays attention to his children. He pays attention to their needs, to their words. He like does listen to them. He does give them their space. He does give them time. And I think that's something that he will learn. Like he will learn the power of listening. He will learn the power of feeling. He will learn the power of sensing, the power of observation and adjusting, and how powerful being gentle means. A sense of like he will learn the value of protecting his energy, because this energy card talks about like, you know, you're very creative, you're able to manifest anything that you want, so just make sure that no one kind of like smothers that energy. So what I'm getting at is that I do feel that DK may go through this period that a lot of people will be like, you know, as a man or, you know, as a father, you should act like this, you should act like that. Well, DK is going to learn that he doesn't have to be what people usually think men have to be like, or how fathers need to be, you know, cold, distant, very strict and firm or whatever, right? Or like, maybe this is just me, or like the guys have no emotions or whatever, right? No, with this Jan card reverse, I think DK will learn from parenthood the value of actually showing his emotions, the importance of showing that he is human and that he also has moments of feeling vulnerable. You know, putting his heart on his sleeve he will learn how valuable that is, because I think that is going to be one of the best ways that he will connect to his children and bring comfort to them. So one example that I'm getting is like if his kids are nervous because they're about to perform, maybe not even perform like dancing or perform in like a presentation. I mean perform as in like they're about to show their work to other people, and they might be very nervous about it. So I do feel that DK, by talking to them or expressing to them that he himself is also nervous for them, will be a sense of solidarity, or a sense of feeling supported and feeling like I'm not alone on this, or like it's normal to be nervous. I'm glad I'm not the only one. It's something that his kids will truly value and appreciate, and because of that, DK will learn that there was no need to follow the advice of other people on what a father should be like, and that it doesn't make him like, I hate to say this because I don't really like this, I guess this bots labels of like, I guess gender and stuff, right? But like that it doesn't make him less of a man to feel emotions, to wear his heart on his sleeve, and to show his children vulnerabilities. And I'm saying that it's not a problem here because despite being that open to his children, his kids will still see him as an authority figure, will still respect him and love him, and also look up to him. Again, they will really appreciate the freedom that he gives them, and that's why we're getting here this flow and this judgment card. Like his kids will see him as someone that taught them how to follow their life purpose, how to be themselves, how to find what was meant for them. And I think that is actually very nice and beautiful. Now, I hope you guys really like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. I really, really hope you guys like this reading. I do think DK wants children. I think he may have expressed that multiple times, and if not, he looks very nice with children, as we have seen already. So I do look forward to the day that he actually becomes a father, because it seems like he will be a very great one. And if I did end up connecting to the energy of his children, I do feel that his children will really appreciate having him as a father and as someone that they could rely on to grow in this lifetime. So I think that's very beautiful. I think that's very nice. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Love and healing from my part to you. And